Today we're talking about starters and alternators for heavy-duty vehicles with Mark Edmonds from Probe. Of course, keeping your fleet on the road is not just about the battery. It's the right combination of your starter, your alternator, and your battery, the complete power package that keeps you moving. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, thank you very much, Tamron. Thank you.
Can you tell us, why is it so important to choose the right replacement starter and alternator for a heavy-duty vehicle?
Well, one of the main causes of vehicle breakdowns is naturally due to electrical systems failures, which is the heart of the engine. It's vital to choose the correct units at any given stage for the vehicle. Fitting the correct kilowattage starter for the vehicle is crucial to be able to crank the vehicle's engine requirements. Because as you know, there's many different engine requirements from big literage to small literages engines. And then also there's a new type of starter out that Probe has, and it's called the planetary gear starter, and it enables higher cranking speeds to enable quicker starting, and naturally has less demand on your batteries and on the starter. So that's
wonderful. So that's the new range of starter that you've got.
Yeah, well, we can go into the newer range just now later as well, and we'll go into more depth. But just to give you an outline on what to choose, just quickly, it's crucial for the kilowattage and the speed of the cranking.
So can you tell me about that range of parts? What is the full range of parts that Probe offers for heavy-duty vehicles?
Well, I'm proud to say that Probe has been in the game for over 50 years, and they've been authorized distributors for Delco Remy for over 50 years. And Delco Remy is naturally fitted OE to Caterpillar, Komatsu, American trucks. So it's a hell of a brand that we have. We also Press-Light Lease Neville authorized distributors. And Probe really has a starter alternator to fit any vehicle, whether it's mining, trucking, or construction, stationary engines, example, generators. And also Probe, with their workshop over the years, we've been able to adapt or convert any unit for any application. So we're one of the few companies that can adapt something that's a special requirement, say for marine engines or otherwise locomotives, 32 volt for locomotives. We also can adapt for that.
So basically, whatever your heavy duty off-highway automotive needs, Probe can make a plan.
There's no doubt. We have never been able to say no.
So I'm assuming, Japanese, American, European truck brands can be quite different. What do you mainly cater for? Do you cater for all of those? What is your focus?
Yeah, Probe caters for all of them. The Japanese range is quite a vast range, and it's growing all the time. So it's a very difficult and demanding range to keep on track for the correct units, for the correct applications. It's the Nissans, it's the UD ranges, the Hainos, the Toyotas, the Mitsubishis, Fusos, 12 and 24 volt. Because tracking on those type of things are sometimes in 12 volt as well. Not only just in 24 volts. And then naturally the mining side of things, it's also always changing. So every single month things change. So it's quite a demanding product to keep in touch, and that's what we do. So we cater for Asian, American trucks, the 12 volt range for American trucks, which is all the freight liners and internationals. And then the European range is also now vast. It's actually overtaken the American range. And it's all the new 24 volt trucking, which is the Scanias. You'll see them every day on our highways, hundreds and hundreds of them running up from Durban all over the place. It's the Scanias, the Volvos, the MANs, the Mercedes-Benzes, the DAFs, the Renaults. And that's where the Press-Light Lease Neville range comes in, because naturally they cater for the European range, and Delco Remy really caters for the American range, the Caterpillars and the American truck parts of things. So being the Press-Light Lease Neville authorized distributor, as we are, it really is a great benefit to our company.
So throughout a vehicle's life cycle, you may have different needs when it comes to parts and, of course, what you're prepared to spend. So let's say your vehicle is now out of service plan and it's 5 years old. What are the options available to you?
There's different needs that you have to spend, so naturally you're looking at expenditure naturally of your fleet. Vehicles out of FML, which is 5 years, there's a lot of options that are available. You can still fit OE, or otherwise you can go for the Probe aftermarket brand. Probe has a quality controlled new and aftermarket unit, and it's a remanufactured unit which is done in Probe's workshop and to naturally OE spec. And then also the value line unit, which is a product which we're going to just now that we import from overseas. And this provides a cost-effective option for the older fleets.
So tell me more about these remanufactured parts and the Probe value line. Obviously, there's some big cost savings there, especially when the vehicle's over 5 or even over 10 years old. Can you tell me a bit more about what Probe offers there?
Yeah, Probe definitely, we have, as I said just earlier on, we have the remanufactured parts, which is assembled at Probe's head office workshop, which is always to OE spec, and we've been going for over 50 years. And we only use tested and tried quality parts. And then the other things that we do, we have put them through rigorous load tests and quality checks on our computerized test benches. The value line, as said earlier on, we can go into that. The value line product is a remanufactured product that is imported by Probe from our OE suppliers, like Delco, Remy, and Lease Neville. They supply a value line, which is a remanufactured part, but through and actually tested through their OEM, factories and suppliers. So we can offer all three. So we can offer the OE brand, we can offer the Probe new, and then we can offer the aftermarket value line unit.
And what do you find your customers mostly opt for in terms of those three?
What we find is naturally the FML fleets, the ones that are under 5 years old, or the newer trucks, naturally they will go for OE because they don't want to lose their warranties. When the trucks start to get into 7 or 8 years old, the older fleets, the guys pretty much try and save money, and then they go for something that they can maybe have a 30% saving on. And it's still a very good part. It's got the same warranty. And so we find that the guys start to shift towards that way. In the mining heavy duty, we find OE is the preferred brand. They don't, it's such an expensive piece of equipment that they don't try and save, money on the starter or an alternator, for example. They will go then, the alternators now today are such high spec. They've got, Probe has got a special brand of alternator that's got remote sensors. So it can pick up low voltage on a battery at idling speeds, and then it will automatically pick up the voltage of the unit, and then put the extra charge into the bank of batteries. So that's the things that they will go for and pay extra for that, because naturally it saves the battery bank and naturally it saves the units.
Wow, so it sounds like there's some pretty sophisticated options out there when it comes to alternator technology.
Yeah, definitely. The alternator technology has really, really changed a lot. In the old days, the trucking wasn't fitted with radios and air conditioners and lots of light, safety lighting, the same as on the mines. They're fitted with hundreds of anti-collision avoidance systems, and it really, really takes it out of the battery bank. So the alternator is crucial. It's the heart of the vehicle. The alternator is the heart of the vehicle.
When it comes to the heart of the vehicle, the starter, the alternator, and the battery, what would your parting shot be? What's your key piece of advice for fleet owners and truck owners when it comes to replacing those parts?
A truck and an earth-moving machine is a vital piece of equipment. It's something that makes the money, the company money, and naturally downtime is really costly. So for us, we need to maximize the uptime, and that is the reason why I would actually say power up with Probe for less downtime and also great aftermarket support.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Mark. So there you have it. A truck is something that makes you money. And for it to do that, it needs to be on the road. At Probe, you're going to get the right advice on the best parts for your fleet and the great aftermarket support that you need. So power up with Probe. Goodbye.
Definitely.